Good evening, guys. So today we'll take up problem on electrostatics, right? And we'll be taking a problem on a very basic topic on electrostatics, that is Coulomb's law. And there's a slightly tricky question on Coulomb's law which we'll now tackle. And hopefully this lecture will help you to solve that kind of problem as well, right? Anyways, let me share the screen with you guys and let's look at the problem. So this is a question given over here. You have two charges separated by a distance of 1 meter, right? And when a dielectric slab of thickness 40 centimeters is introduced between them, the force becomes half of its previous value. So we need to find out what is the dielectric constant of the medium over here. We need to find out what the dielectric constant of the medium in this case would be equal to, right? So we'll try to derive a general formula in this case, or rather a general logic which you can apply for these kind of problems. And then we'll apply that logic and solve this problem over here, right? So anyways, let's deal with this. So essentially the case which we're dealing with over here is if you have two charges Q1 and Q2 separated by a distance R, right? And now if the medium in between these two charges, like if the region in between these two charges is completely occupied by one medium, is completely occupied by some medium. So let's say we have a uniform medium over here. And let's assume that the dielectric constant of this medium is K, right? So we know what will be the force acting between these two charges. We'll say that the force acting between these two charges will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. So this will be the force acting between the two charges if they're placed in vacuum, right? But now if they're placed in a medium K, or if these two charges are, if the space in between these two charges is completely occupied by a medium of dielectric constant K, by a medium of dielectric constant K. So then what will be the force acting between these two charges? The force acting between these two charges, as you are already familiar, would be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square divided by K, right? In other words, this is the general formula written for all these cases, right? If the force acting between two charges in a medium would be equal to the force acting between these two charges when they were in vacuum divided by the dielectric constant, right? So when the region is completely occupied by a medium, we know how to solve it. But in this given question, what we have is, we have a certain region occupied, we have only a portion of this region occupied by the medium, right? The remaining region is vacuum only over here, right? So let's look at how to deal with this case. So let me specify that case clearly. So let's say you have Q1 and Q2 now, you have your two charges over here, and only a region of thickness T, let's say, occupied by a medium of dielectric constant K. Occupied by a medium of dielectric constant K. So if the total separation between them is R, if the region between them is not entirely occupied by this medium, but rather only a region of T, only a region of thickness T is occupied by this medium, then how do we solve these kind of problems over here? Right? So this is essentially what we're looking at to solve, right? I'm not taking the values over here. We look at how to solve this kind of problem and then apply this logic to the question which we had discussed earlier, right? Anyways, so how do we solve this problem now? So what we'll do is we'll take back our previous case. When we had a charge of Q1 and Q2 separated by a distance R in a medium of dielectric constant K, we found out that the force acting between these two charges would be equal to this value. It would be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square into capital K, right? So here let's ask ourselves this question. What should be the separation? Let's ask ourselves this question. What should be the separation between Q1 and Q2? What should be the separation between Q1 and Q2 in vacuum so that they experience the same force? When in a medium of dielectric constant K. So essentially what we are asking over here is, let's say, again, going back to our previous case, we have Q1 and Q2, and these Q1 and Q2 are separated by a distance R, let's say, right? And let's say that the entire region in between them is occupied by a medium of dielectric constant K, not a particular region, the entire region. So now what we are trying to answer over here is, what should be the separation between these two charges in vacuum what should be the separation between these two charges in vacuum, so that your force acting in this case is equivalent to the force acting in this case. So what should be the separation between them in vacuum? So let's give that a name, R vacuum. So that the force acting between these two charges in vacuum would be equivalent to the force acting between these two charges in this medium of dielectric constant K, right? So let's find out what this R vacuum value should be equal to. So writing down your Coulomb's law for this. So what would be the force acting between these two charges when they are placed in a medium of dielectric constant K? So that would be equal to the force in case 1 would be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R squared into 1 by K. It's divided by a factor of dielectric constant K. So this will be a force acting in the first case. What would be a force acting in the second case? The force acting in the second case would be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R vacuum whole square, right? And now we want the force acting in case 1 to be equal to the force acting in case 2. So what should the separation R vacuum be? What should the separation between these two charges be, so that the force acting over here is similar to the force acting in this case? So equating F1 to F2. So equating F1 to F2. We get 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R squared into 1 by K should be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R vacuum whole square. R vacuum whole square, right? So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught gets cancelled, Q1 Q2 gets cancelled. So essentially we get the relation that R vacuum whole square is equal to K into R square, K into R square. Or we can now rewrite this relation as R vacuum as under root of K into R, under root of K into R. Right? And this is the logic which we'll be applying to solve the question discussed earlier. Right? So essentially what we got over here is, if you have two charged particles separated by a distance R, the force acting between these two charged particles would be equivalent to the force acting between the two charged particles when they are placed by a distance R vacuum. Right? And what do we get that R vacuum to be equal to? That is equal to under root of K into R. So here from this, we can arrive at this conclusion, or we can use this logic to solve this problem. That is a distance of, or a separation of R in a medium of dielectric constant K, is equivalent to separation of under root of K into R in vacuum. Of under root of K into R in vacuum. So if you have two charged particles separated by a distance R in a medium of dielectric constant K, it is equivalent to a distance of root over K into R into vacuum. And this is the logic which should be applying to solve our previous problem. This is the logic which will now apply to solve this problem. So let's go back to our problem over here, or let's go back to our case over here. So the case we are dealing with is, you have Q1 and Q2 separated by a distance R, but the entire medium is not uniform. So you have vacuum in some region, and between them, you have a dielectric slab of dielectric constant K occupying a thickness T. It's not occupying the entire space in between these two charged particles, right? So this problem would be much easier to solve if this was entirely one medium. So what we'll be doing is we'll convert this glass slab into a vacuum case effectively. And we'll be making use of the statement which I've written earlier. That is, a distance of, or a separation of R in a medium of K should be equal to a separation of root over K into R into vacuum. So writing this statement down now, a distance or a thickness of T in medium K is equivalent to a distance of root K into T in vacuum. A distance of root K into T into vacuum, right? So let me take this distance of Q1 to this slab as X. Let me take the distance from Q2 to this slab as Y. And now we can effectively convert this question as, we'll say that now we have two charged particles separated by Q1 and Q2. And now a distance of X till the slab, but instead of now taking the medium of dielectric constant K, we'll take its effective distance in vacuum. And what did we find out its effective distance in vacuum to be equal to? We found out that its effective distance in vacuum will be called under root of K into T. So now we'll convert this medium into vacuum, and we'll say that this is also now vacuum but of thickness under root of k into t. And then once again, from the slab to Q2, that distance was equal to y. So now we have the effective distance between these two charged particles. We see that the effective distance between these two charged particles over here is nothing but x plus y plus under root of k into t, plus under root of k into t, under root of k into t. Right? So this is basically what we'll be using in these kind of questions. We'll try to convert that medium. If the entire region is not occupied, if the entire region between the two charges is not occupied by one medium, we'll try to make it into one medium totally. So in this case, you had some region is vacuum and the other region was nothing but a medium of dielectric constant K. So what we have done is we have converted this region also into vacuum. So to convert this region into vacuum, we found out what was the relation between the distance in vacuum to the distance in the medium of dielectric constant K. And we got this relation. So distance of T in a medium of dielectric constant K is equivalent to a distance of root K into T in vacuum. And now this entire region is vacuum. So what will be the force acting between these two charges? So now we'll say that the force acting between these two charges is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught of Q1 Q2 divided by x plus y plus root k into t whole square. This will be a force acting between these two charges, right? And what is x plus y equal to? Looking at what x plus y is, your x plus y plus t was equal to the separation between these two charged particles. So x plus y is equal to r minus t. X plus y is equal to r minus t. So your force acting between these two charges. So you can remember this is a formula in this case. So your force acting between these two charges then turns out to be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by root kt plus r minus t whole square. This r minus t whole square, which if I want to write it in a proper manner would be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught of t into root k minus 1 plus r whole square, plus r whole square, t into root k minus 1 plus r whole square over here. Right? So I hope this logic is clear, and now we can use this logic to solve the previous question. We can now use this logic to solve the question. So let me go back to that question again. Our question was, we have two charges separated by a distance of 1 meter, and we have a dielectric slab of thickness 40 centimeters introduced in between them. And now it said that the force becomes half of its previous value. So we need to find out what the dielectric constant for the medium is. We need to find out what the dielectric constant for the medium is. Right? So let's use this logic now to solve the problem. So you can remember the formula, but otherwise you can just apply the logic as well. And we'll be applying the logic to solve this question over here. Two charges Q1 and Q2 were separated by a distance of 1 meter. Right? So when they're separated by a distance of 1 meter, what will be the force acting between them? So let me write that force as F1. We know that the force F1 will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by 1 whole square. 1 whole square. That will be the force acting between these two charges, right? And now, according to the second condition given in the question, now the distance or in between the two charged particles, a dielectric slab of thickness 40 centimeters is introduced in between them. A dielectric slab of thickness 40 centimeters is introduced between them. And the dielectric constant is not given. That's what we need to find out over here. That's what we need to find out over here. Right? So now what will be a force acting between these two charged particles? Then what will be a force acting between these two charged particles? So if I now have to find out what will be the force acting between these two charged particles, I'll again write down the logic that a distance of 40 centimeters in K is equivalent to a distance of 40 centimeters into root K in vacuum is equivalent to a distance of 40 centimeters into root K in vacuum. Right? And once again, let me take this distance as x and y. You know that x and y should be equal to 60 centimeters over here. X plus y will be equal to 60 centimeters over here, which will anyway is substituted later. So what does my problem turn out to be? So basically we have this x distance, but now if I have to consider this region as vacuum, so what is the effective distance I have to take? If I have to convert that glass slab, or if I have to convert the dielectric slab into vacuum, the distance I have to take over here will be equal to under root of K into 40 centimeters. And then this distance is y, and you have your charge. Now this entire region has become vacuum. The entire region between Q1 and Q2 has become vacuum. So what will be a force acting in this case? And the force acting in this case, we'll say, is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by x plus y plus converting it into meters, it will be 0.4 root k whole square. It will be 0.4 root k whole square. But again, from this, we know that x plus y should be equal to 0.6 meters. X plus y should be equal to 0.6 meters. So your F2 value is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught of Q1 Q2 divided by 0.6 plus 0.4 root k whole square plus 0.4 root k whole square. This was your force acting in the second case. And now, according to the condition given in the question, your force acting when that dielectric slab was introduced becomes half of its previous value. So let's use that condition. So a force in the second case is half of the force in the first case. So writing down both F2 and F1. Our F2 value was 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by 0.6 plus 0.4 root k. That should now be equal to half of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by 1 whole square. So Q1 Q2 gets cancelled, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught gets cancelled. So effectively, what's the equation we have? The equation we have over here is Q should be equal to 0.6 plus 0.4 root k. From this, we get root 2 should be equal to 0.6 plus 0.4 root k. That implies what should a root k be equal to? A root k becomes equal to root 2 minus 0.6 divided by 0.4. As our k value becomes root 2 minus 0.6 divided by 0.4. And now solving this approximately is 1.4. So 1.4 minus 0.6 is approximately 0.8. So 0.8 divided by 0.4 is 2. Again, it's an approximation. So you get the value as 2 square. So you get the value of the dielectric constant to be approximately equal to 4. You get the value of the dielectric constant to be approximately equal to 4. I hope this logic over here is clear. So once again, whenever we need to solve a case where the entire region between the two charges is not one medium, it's made up of different mediums, you try to convert it into one medium. So use the concept of effective distance. A distance of so and so, a distance of 40 or distance of r and k is equivalent to a distance of r root k in vacuum. Right? You can also use this for other mediums as well. The same logic can now be used for other mediums as well. Hopefully this concept is clear, and this is a slightly tricky problem on Coulomb's law which you need to cover. Right?